my lovelies, it is time for my August wrap-up, so stay tuned. So August was a bit crazy, and I didn't end up vlogging really at all except for my traveling, and essentially I forgot to vlog my wrap-up stuff. So I'm just gonna kind of do this wrap-up by the seat of my pants. Honestly, I didn't even write down the books as I was reading them. So yesterday I tried to think of all the books that I've read in the month and what I believe I rated them when I first read them, or at least where my rating falls now at this point. Now, I may have read more than this, but I just can't think of what books. So the first book is Charade by Lori Foster. This is actually a bind-up of two books. There's Impetuous and Outrageous. And the first one I gave 4 stars. The second one I only gave 3.5 stars and just rounded out to 3.75. This is a little bit of a smutty romance. The first one, which was Impetuous, our main character, she dresses like super frumpy, and her friend gets her to go to this Halloween party, and she dresses up like a genie, and she's got a wig on and contacts in, and the hot guy she has had a crush on forever is mesmerized by this mystery girl, and they have this one amazing night, and she doesn't tell him who she is or anything like that. And the next day when he sees her as her regular self, he doesn't recognize her, and they end up having to work together. And it was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. The second one, honestly, at this point, I can't really remember too much about the second one, except that they overly used the title word outrageous way too much, and that kind of got annoying. But it was also a fun, smutty read, and I gave that one a 3.5. So overall, 3.75. These are also in no particular order in which I read them, because they're just the order that I think that's actually the order that they came up on my TBR. And I was just writing down, I was like, oh yeah, I read that when I was rewatching my like Cards Against My TBR and my Wheel of TBR for August. So the next book is Intercepted by Alexa Martin. This is a football romance. Our main character, she's in a relationship with a dog of a man, and she finds out that he's been cheating on her, and again, and they have this big breakup. And at the same time, this guy that she had this one fling with years ago has now come back into the picture, and he is the quarterback for the football team that her now ex is on, and they get involved, and it's hot and steamy and funny. And there's also like a lot of turmoil with fans saying different, not good things about her, and he ends up with a little injury, and everybody blames it on her. And she's also fighting this whole being in a relationship with another football player, because she's like sworn off being in a relationship with an athlete after what happened with her ex. Anyway, I enjoyed this a lot, and I give it 4 stars. Okay, next was Don't Cry by Beverly Barton. This is a little bit of a mystery thriller, and it's set here in Chattanooga, which is the reason why I initially got this. And our main character, Audrey, she's a grief counselor, and she also has a history with 20 years ago or something like that. Her baby brother, who was like around 2 years old, something like that, was kidnapped. And there was like a string of kidnappings, and the woman that kidnapped all of these little boy, 2-year-olds, was locked away, and she was mentally unstable, and she has recently passed away. And now there is a string of women being abducted, and these women seem to very much resemble the lady that kidnapped these children. And these women, their bodies are being found set up in a rocking chair with the skeletal remains of one of these missing 2-year-old boys. And they're trying to solve this case before more women are killed. And they also want to know like where these bodies have been kept, where these children are, and to help maybe give people some closure. I enjoyed it. I think as far as the Chattanooga aspect, I feel like for the most part, it was just directions, and this book could have been a lot shorter if it weren't for so many, like, I turned right on this road and then left on this road and went up this hill, and yeah, and it was, I felt like that was like the big aspect of Chattanooga, not so much things that are here, just directions around here. And so it was just okay. I give it 3.5 stars. I did enjoy it. Oh, also, here's Charade. I just found it. I also read The Third Twin by C.J. Amalulu, and I gave this one a 3.75. I might have even given it a 4, but I did kind of guess the like what was going on for a couple of different things in this story, so that kind of took it away from it a little bit, because I figured some of this stuff out really early on. Our main characters, Lexi and Ava, as little kids, they made up a third twin, or a triplet, and they named her Alicia. And anytime they got into some mischief, they would always blame it on Alicia. And it was kind of like, haha, funny when they were little. But then it went away. Alicia went away for a while, and then as teenagers, they brought Alicia back, and this could allow them to like go out with guys that they wouldn't necessarily have gone out with. Like, Ava is very particular about who Ava will associate with, but she doesn't mind going for like the bad boy with Alicia. And then Lexi, she's like our little book nerd, doesn't go out at all really, and the only time she ever does do anything like going to a party or going on a date or anything like that, she does it as Alicia. And that's all fine and fun until one of the boys that Alicia goes out with turns up murdered. And then another one turns up murdered as well. And all the signs point to Alicia. And this was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. And I'm going to give it a 3.75. I also read Wolf by Ryan Godlin, I believe it is. And this is a historical fiction where our main character, she has this ability to skin shift. So she was a prisoner in the concentration camps, and she was tested on and experimented on as a little 6-year-old child. And the things that they did to her caused her to be able to skin shift. And now years later, she can skin shift into this other girl named Adele Wolf, who previously competed in this big race and got to meet Hitler. And she's the only person that has ever really gotten to physically close with Hitler, because he danced with her. And so now our main character, she is skin shifting and acting as Adele and competing in the race this next year, so that she has the opportunity to meet Hitler and kill him. And this is a race across like 3 continents, and it is a deadly race. And I enjoyed it. I'm going to give that one a 3.5. And the final book that I could remember, because it was literally the last book that I read, and I finished it on the last day of the month, and that was Tangled in You by Christina Lauren. And this book I freaking loved, and I give it 5 stars. It is a Rapunzel retelling, where our main character, she has spent her entire life, she's now 22 years old, she has spent her entire life that she can remember growing up on this homestead. She never went to a regular school. She pretty much taught herself everything. Her parents have taught her, and she takes care of the farm animals and all of this stuff. And for years, she's wanted to go to college. Like, that's been her big dream, is to go to college. And her parents finally agree to let her go, but they have some very strict rules. And, well, she tries to stick to these rules, but it doesn't take long before she starts breaking little rules at a time, until something happens and she now goes with this boy, Fitz, on a cross-country road trip. And it was so good. I loved it so much. And I have to give that one 5 stars. Oh, actually, there was one more book that I do recall reading, and that was Scars Like Wings, and I cannot remember the author's name. I'll put the picture of the book here. This is about a girl who survived a house fire, but a large portion, I think like 70% of her body, was severely burned, and she's had many surgeries. And her best friend and cousin was spending the night at their house when this happened, and she didn't make it. Like, the cousin didn't make it. Her mom and dad didn't make it. So now she's orphaned, and she's living with her aunt and uncle, living in the room of her cousin, and trying to have a semi-normal life. She does not want to go to regular school, but they insist that she needs to get back out there, and it's pretty much just that. Her dealing with getting out into the public and dealing with the scars internally as well as externally and all of that, and trying to find her new normal. And that was another really good one, and I give that one 4 stars. So those are all 7 books that I can remember reading in August. Like I said, there may have been more, but I can't remember. I promise to do better in September. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye!